Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another special ranking video. Tonight, we will be counting down our picks for the top 10 Hammer actors. Now, for this list, we will only be including actors who have had at least a couple of leading roles in Hammer Productions films. So, let's begin this list with number 10, Ronald Lewis. Ronald Lewis was born on December 11, 1928 in Port Talbot, West Glamorgan, Wales. Not only did he star in the Hammer films The Full Treatment, 1960, Taste of Fear, 1961, and The Brigand of Kandahar, 1965, but he was also known for a host of other films such as Helen of Troy, 1956, Storm Over the Nile, 1955, and Billy Budd, 1962. He died on January 11, 1982 in Pimlico, London, England. Coming in at number 9 on our list, Martine Bwick. Martine Bwick was born September 26, 1941 in Port Antonio, Jamaica. She's a British actress and model perhaps best known for her roles in 2 James Bond films, From Russia with Love, 1963, and Thunderball, 1965. But she went on to appear in several other notable films in the 1960s, including 1 Million Years BC, 1966, opposite Raquel Welch. She then appeared in the leading roles in Prehistoric Women, 1967, and Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, 1971, opposite Ralph Bates, whom she shared the title role with. As of the date of this video in 2024, Bwick is still alive and active in the film community. And clocking in at number 8, Oliver Reid. Robert Oliver Reid was born on February 13, 1938 in Wimbledon, London, England. He was an English actor known for his well-to-do macho image and Hellraiser lifestyle. His notable films include The Trap, 1966, Oliver, 1968, Women in Love, 1969, Hannibal Brooks, 1969, The Devils, 1971, Revolver, 1973, The Three Musketeers, 1973, The Four Musketeers, 1974, Tommy, 1975, The Brood, 1979, Lion of the Desert, 1981, Castaway, 1986, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, 1988, Funny Bones, 1995, and Gladiator, 2000. But us Hammer Productions fans will always remember him for his supporting parts in The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, 1960, Sword of Sherwood Forest, 1960, The Pirates of Blood River, 1962, Captain Clegg, 1962, The Scarlet Blade, 1963, The Brigand of Kandahar, 1965, and his leading roles in The Curse of the Werewolf, 1961, The Damned, 1962, and Paranoiac, 1963. He died on May 2, 1999 in Valletta, Malta. And coming in at number 7, Veronica Carlson. Born Veronica Mary Glazier on September 18, 1944 in Emley, West Riding of Yorkshire, England. She was a British actress and a model. She changed her last name to the stage name of Carlson upon entering the film industry. She made her film debut in an uncredited role in Casino Royale, 1967, and another uncredited role in The Magnificent 2, 1967. Her first credited role came in the film Smashing Time, 1967, followed by Hammerhead, 1968. James Carreras, the head of Hammer Films, saw one of her photographs in a newspaper and offered her a role opposite Christopher Lee in Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, 1968. She starred in 2 further Hammer horror films, Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, 1969, and The Horror of Frankenstein, 1970. She continued acting in films and television throughout the 60s and 70s. Carlson went into semi-retirement after marrying and moving to the United States, though she played a couple of roles in the 90s. She returned to acting in the late 2010s and starred in the 2019 film House of the Gorgon, alongside fellow Hammer film stars Caroline Munro, Martine Bwick, and Christopher Neame. She died on February 27, 2022 in Bluffton, South Carolina. Coming in at number 6 on our list is Ralph Bates. Ralph Bates was born February 12, 1940 in Bristol, England. He played in many BBC and ITV programming, including ITV Play of the Week, Coronation Street, the ITV Play, ITV Playhouse, and playing the evil Emperor Caligula in The Caesars, 1968. But it was his supporting role in the Hammer production Taste the Blood of Dracula, 1970, that brought him fully to our attention. He followed that as the lead character Baron Frankenstein in The Horror of Frankenstein 1970, briefly replacing Peter Cushing in the role. Then he played in Lust for a Vampire 1971 and Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde 1971, sharing the title role with Martine Beswick. And then he played in Fear in the Night 1972 opposite Peter Cushing and Joan Collins. Unfortunately, he was taken from us far too soon. He died on March 27, 1991 in London, England, from pancreatic cancer at the young age of 51. And at number 5 on our list, we have Andrew Kier. The character actor was born Andrew Buggy in Shotts, Lanarkshire, Scotland. Shortly after changing his last name to the stage name of Kier, he established himself professionally in British theatre, television, and made his film debut in the early Hammer Productions film The Lady Craved Excitement, 1950. His bluff, no-nonsense demeanor was perfect for authoritarian and military roles, especially Roman soldiers, as in Cleopatra, 1963, The Fall of the Roman Empire, 1964, and in another of his Hammer film appearances, The Viking Queen, 1967. He had many supporting appearances for Hammer films, including The Pirates of Blood River, 1962, The Devil's Ship Pirates, 1964, but it is his leading roles that he stood out in with Dracula, Prince of Darkness, 1966, in which his priest character was a replacement to Peter Cushing's Van Helsing, and then playing that of the title role in Quatermass in the Pit, 1967, and the father character in Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, 1971. Kier made numerous appearances in television throughout his career, notably in Adam Smith, 1972, and in the Australian series The Outsiders, 1976. Kier, true to his heritage, frequently played Scotsman, especially in the latter part of his career, most notably in Rob Roy 1995, opposite Liam Neeson. He died on October 5, 1997 in London, England. Coming in at number 4, we have Barbara Shelley, born Barbara Teresa Cohen on February 13, 1932, in Harrow, London, England. She started modeling in 1951, which led to a minor role in the 1953 Hammer Film Productions film Mantrap. She was credited for this film under her birth name, Barbara Cohen. The same year, she went to Rome on holiday and met Italian comic actor Walter Chiari, who recognized her talent and suggested she change her name to that of his favorite poet, Shelly. While in Rome, she appeared in 9 Italian films, speaking Italian, but felt none of these roles were going to advance her career, so she returned to the UK. It was at this time that she caught notoriety in the title role of Catgirl, 1957. Then, she made her first significant appearance in a film for Hammer, The Camp on Blood Island, 1958. She followed that with 2 horror films, Blood of the Vampire, 1958, and Village of the Damned, 1960. It was after this that she made her most famous films with Hammer, Shadow of the Cat, 1961, The Gorgon, 1964, The Secret of Blood Island, 1965, Dracula, Prince of Darkness, 1966, Rasputin, the Mad Monk, 1966, and Quatermass in the Pit, 1967. She became the company's top female star and was nicknamed the Queen of Hammer. During the 70s and 80s, she would work in mostly television roles and retired in 1988. She died on January 3, 2021, in London, England. We've come to our final 3, and at number 3 on our list, we have André Morel. Cecil André Mesritz was born on August 20, 1909, in St. Pancras, London, England. He turned professional actor in 1934, initially acting under the name André Mesritz. He anglicized his surname to Morel in 1936. He was an actor in many films throughout his career, most famously Ben-Hur, 1959, The Bridge on the River Kwai, 1957, Barry Lyndon, 1975, and The Message, 1976. But we will always remember him for his memorable character roles in the Hammer Productions films, The Camp on Blood Island, 1958, The Hound of the Baskervilles, 1959, Shadow of the Cat, 1961, Cash on Demand, 1961, She, 1965, The Plague of the Zombies, 1966, The Mummy's Shroud, 1967, and The Vengeance of She, 1968. He died on November 28, 1978, in London, England. Coming in at number 2, we have Christopher Lee. Christopher Frank Carandini Lee was born May 27, 1922, in Belgravia, London, England. Just like a lot of these actors, he was not just known for Hammer films, as he had become a villain in the James Bond film The Man with the Golden Gun in 1974. He was Saruman in the Lord of the Rings films and the Hobbit trilogy, and he was Count Dooku in the Star Wars prequel trilogy. But he was also Dr. Fu Manchu in the most popular and well-known of the Fu Manchu films, beginning with The Face of Fu Manchu, 1965. But we Hammer Film Productions fans will always love and admire him for his connections with Hammer, and not only the Dracula role, which he played starting with Horror of Dracula, 1958. But he also had great roles in The Curse of Frankenstein, 1957, The Hound of the Baskervilles, 1959, The Man Who Could Cheat Death, 1959, The Mummy, 1959, The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, 1960, Terror of the Tongs, 1961, Taste of Fear, 1961, The Pirates of Blood River, 1962, The Devil Ship Pirates, 1964, The Gorgon, 1964, She, 1965, Rasputin the Mad Monk, 1966, The Devil Rides Out, 1968, and To the Devil a Daughter, 1976. He is definitely one of the most well-known of all of the Hammer actors. Christopher Lee died on June 7, 2015, in Chelsea, London, England, but we will always remember him for his great work in Hammer films. And coming in at number 1, we have Peter Cushing. Peter Wilson Cushing was born on May 26, 1913, in Kinley, Surrey, England. Another great actor that is not just known for Hammer films, he made his film debut in The Man in the Iron Mask, 1939. Other Hollywood films that he did included A Chump at Oxford, 1940, ironically with Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. He appeared alongside Laurence Olivier in Hamlet, 1948, and did Moulin Rouge, 1952. And much like Christopher Lee, he was in the Star Wars franchise in which he played Grand Moff Tarkin. But we Hammer fans will always remember him as Dr. Victor Frankenstein in the Frankenstein films, which he first started in The Curse of Frankenstein, 1957, as well as playing Van Helsing in the Dracula films, the first of which was Horror of Dracula, 1958. And from then on, he just continued on and on with one great credit right after another. The Abominable Snowman, 1957, The Hound of the Baskervilles, 1959, The Mummy, 1959, The Sword of Sherwood Forest, 1960, Cash on Demand, 1961, in which he graciously gave valuable screen time to our number 3 on this list, Andre Morel. What a gracious, great actor. He followed that with Captain Clegg, 1962, The Gorgon, 1964, She, 1965, The Vampire Lovers, 1970, Twins of Evil, 1971, Fear in the Night, 1972, and The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, 1974. Such a highly talented and versatile actor. Peter Cushing died on August 11, 1994, in Canterbury, Kent, England. But us Hammer fans will never forget him. We will always have his films to cherish. So what did you think of this list? Did you agree with any of these picks? Did you disagree? Would you like to see us do a top 10 Hammer supporting actors video? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, don't forget to click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. But we hope you've enjoyed this special ranking night. If you did, don't forget to check out last week's ranking night. And if you've missed any of the ranking nights that we've had, check out this ranking list.